All right. Senator Graham joins us now. Senator, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Were you frustrated by their answers today?
A little bit, but I appreciate them coming forward. I thought Ms. Yates was very credible. I like General Clapper. He's been a patriot for a long time. The Russians did it. It was the Russians who tried to interfere in our election. Every member of the committee agrees it was the Russians. But here's why it's important to know about the unmasking of the conversation between the ambassador and General Flynn. Somebody took that information and leaked it to the Washington Post, and you cannot allow intelligence to be politicized. So I want to get to the bottom line of who did that. And there's a small universe of people can ask the intelligence community to give them conversations between a foreign agent and an American citizen. And General Clapper contradicted himself. I asked him point blank, was there any incidental collection of presidential campaign candidates or their campaign team? He later said, yes, there was with Trump. There was an unmasking request I made involving a member of Congress and Trump. Now, were there more? I don't know.
Yeah.
Trump's campaign.
Senator Grassley also tried to get at a couple of the issues that you're talking about right now. And he asked, did you ever request the unmasking of Mr. Trump or his associates or any member of Congress? Let's play the answer to that.
Did either of you ever review classified documents in which Mr. Trump, his associates, or members of Congress had been unmasked?
Oh, yes.
You have. Can you give us details here?
No, I can't.
Ms. Yates, have you?
Yes, I have, and no, I can't give you details.
What do you make of that?
Well, it's completely contrary to what they told me earlier. I asked point blank, was there any incidental collection of campaign operatives or candidates? Now we know at least there was one occasion. Why does this matter? I want to know what kind of system we have in America. I talk to foreign leaders all the time as a United States Senator. If the intelligence community is capturing my conversation because they're focused on the guy I'm talking to or the gal I'm talking to, I want to know what they can do with my part of the conversation, because I may be talking about things that's no business for the executive branch to know. So I'm really very much concerned that we've got a system in place where you can capture conversations between American citizens, political leaders, and somebody with a political bent can take that information and use it in a political fashion, like leaking it to the Washington Post. I'm very worried about what Russia did in our election and what they could do in the future, but there's two now battlefields here. What the Russians did and what the Trump people may have done with the Russians, and what did the Obama administration or others do when it comes to unmasking for intelligence gathering purposes.
All right. I want to get your thoughts on one other element of this. This is Sean Spicer talking about this today at the news conference. Watch.
If President Obama was truly concerned about General Flynn, why didn't he suspend General Flynn's security clearance, which they had just reapproved months earlier? Additionally, why did the Obama administration let Flynn go to Russia for a paid speaking engagement and receive a fee?
I mean, does that add up to you? Because, you know, why didn't he suspend General Flynn's clearance, which they had just reapproved months earlier? Should they have done that, do you believe, the Obama administration?
You know, I think that's a fair question, and you can ask, why did it take 18 days for Flynn to be fired?
Right.
What I thought General Counsel McCann took Yates's information very seriously. Matter of fact, I was pretty impressed with what he did. He met with her twice, or met with her once, and people on under her control the second time, to find out what Flynn actually said with the Russian ambassador. Then 18 days later, Flynn is fired. Here's the question: how did they know what Flynn told the Russian ambassador? Somebody had to be surveilling the Russian ambassador, or a warrant was issued against Flynn. I don't believe a warrant was ever issued against General Flynn, but I do believe the Russian ambassador was under surveillance by our intelligence community. They captured that conversation with a transition team member, and that conversation winds up in the Washington Post for political purposes. That, to me, is just as bad as what the Russians did.
All right, one last question. The president has stuck up for Mike Flynn on several occasions. Do you agree with him on that, or do you think he should move off of that?
I think General Flynn was a patriot during the Iraq-Afghan war. I think what he did with the Russians was out of bounds. I think his ties to Turkey should have been disclosed. I think what he was talking about with the Russians really unnerved me. I think the president was right to let him go. General Flynn's a patriot, but what he was doing with the Russians bothered me. And at the end of the day, I want to know what happened here. I want to know what the Russians did in our election, how to prevent it in the future, and I want to know, can you politicize intelligence? What did the Obama administration do when it came to intelligence gathering in the political process?
Yeah. A lot of new questions as a result, perhaps, of this today. Senator Graham, thank you very much. Great to see you tonight.
Thank you.